Hi, and welcome to Missed It by How Much. This is the channel that tests sports hypotheses by using computer game engines. We're currently playing the 1990 season as the Los Angeles Dodgers manager without Alfredo Griffin as our shortstop. And we've been playing really well on this 15-game road trip. We've won our 8th game in the first game of a doubleheader against the Mets. I have a 4-game set against them. And I turned the game off yesterday, and then I came back and turned it on today and clicked on the Mets to look to see who we're facing today, because I don't trust this. This list usually changes. And this is what I got when I clicked on the Mets. A bunch of zeros. For some reason, the game had completely erased all of their statistics, including their games and their logo and their pictures. So I don't understand what happened here. I don't know what I did wrong other than I clicked the button. But this isn't the first time this has happened before. When I was practicing to start this season, I played a short amount of games. I think it was 11 games. You can go back and watch one of them against the Astros. And that was the reason I didn't use as played lineups, one of the reasons. Because I was just trashing the other team. I think we had won 10 in a row to start the season. And the same thing happened for the White Sox. I believe I clicked on the roster for the White Sox and it just disappeared. Luckily, as after every game I backed it up, little backup file. We'll go to that in a moment. Make sure everything's okay. But before we do, a strange thing that happens when you do back up the games that I've noticed. If you go from the original file, I'm assuming this doesn't occur, but in the backup file, some box scores are erased. I noticed that even playing this season, there was a time when I was just, sometimes I'd forget and leave the backup file up, loaded, instead of the original, and kept playing, and I said, well, I'm not going to go back and replay those games on the original file. And when I would check the box scores, some of the days would be empty. It also affects the game logs. It doesn't affect the total statistics for the players on their individual page, but that's what I found is the game logs are not complete. Before we do all that, let's go back over the games that you did not see on the channel. The last one that you did see, the Dodgers won a close one, 9-8. First game of 4 in Atlanta. Then the Dodgers took on the Braves with Jim Neidlinger, and he probably definitely threw his best game of the season. The Dodgers won easily 8-2. 4 in the first helped a lot. Steve Avery came in, did not pitch well. 7 runs in 6 innings. Neidlinger went the entire way with that lead and did not give up a walk. So hopefully that's a good notice of what's to come in the rest of the season, but I'm not banking on that. Samuel with 3 hits, Sharperson with 3 hits, Gibson with 2, Daniels with 3, including 2 RBI, Vizcaino with 2 hits and 3 RBI, including Brooks with the walk. So these guys were replaced. Daniels moved to the bench, and so did Murray when I had an opportunity, and so did Socha. Dempsey came in towards the end of the game. Here's the miscellaneous stats. Vizcaino got the MVP. Not a whole lot of surprise there. recap. There you see. Okay, so that game was pretty simple. And you'd won 2, and I was hoping to win 3 out of 4 in Atlanta. And had Ramon coming up in the third game against Liebrandt. Looked like a good pitcher's duel. Didn't end up that way. The Dodgers took Liebrandt to the proverbial woodshed and knocked him around a lot in the first. Daniels with the 3-run home run. By the third, I believe, Liebrandt was gone. Yeah, 2 innings pitched. Clary came in and didn't do a whole lot better, a decent job. And there you see the rest. Martinez not sharp as usual. 9 hits, 3 walks, 3 earned runs. He had it down to 1, but because of the lead, I just let him keep pitching until he just about ran out of pitches. 125. Then Munoz came in, gave up a run, and finished it off. There you see the numbers. Murray 3 for 3 with 4 RBI. Daniels with a home run, 3-run shot, and there's Brooks' home run. Look at the first inning. Samuel singled, Sharperson grounded a single. Gibson hit by a pitch. Murray singled, scored 2, and Daniels hit a 3-run shot. There's 5. And immediately the computer wanted to take Liebrandt out of the game, and I didn't let. I mean, I knew the Braves pitching situation was they didn't have a whole lot left in the bullpen. And they just kept asking me over and over again, even though Liebrandt pitched decently in the second, just about every batter, they wanted me to take him out. And I kept denying them because I thought Liebrandt would get it back together. The game's not over. It's 5-0. 5-1 in the second. And that's not awful. And then the top of the third, Brooks hit a home run, made it 6-1, so I relented and I let him bring in Clary, who pitched decently, 5 innings, 3 earned runs, but sometimes you just have to let your pitcher pitch. In a series where you have to win just about every game, and I mean, not even there, you have to sometimes let pitchers just go and save your bullpen. So, I don't know. I don't think the game tried to pull him because he'd given up 5. I think the game pulled him because they knew he wasn't good. But I didn't want to set the Braves up that they didn't have anybody in the bullpen left for the final game, which the Dodgers also won 7-3. The Braves led 2-0. Justice doubled. Blauser walked. Fly out. A line out. Oh, that's not it. Sorry, the third, the Braves scored. My apologies. 2 outs. Gantz singled, stole second. Justice hit a 2-run home run. Justice finally doing something in the series in Game 4. Dodgers come right back in the 4th. Murray with a rare triple. Daniels flies out. We didn't send him. It wasn't 100%. I believe it was something in the 80s. And it was Justice's arm, who's an 8, and I said no. There was only 1 out. Scioscia rewarded me by singling him home. Scioscia stole second. Tells you something about Smoltz hold rating. Gonzalez grounded to short, but Gibson singled, and then Harris doubled, and the Dodgers had the lead. From there, the Braves just got a lone run in the 9th. In the 6th, Gonzalez tripled. Gibson walked and stole second. Then Harris singled him both home. And then in the 7th, Murray singled. Daniels doubled. So you got second and third, nobody out. And Scioscia comes through again and singles. Gonzalez strikes out. Gibson walks. There you see the rest of the inning. Then in the ninth, Justice walks. Bell flies out. Treadway doubles. You got second and third, and a ground out scores Justice before the game's over. Pitching wise, you know the formula. Morgan goes as long as he can. He just gave up the 2-run home run, but he had runners on 5 base runners in 4 innings. Is not a good strategy to win, or a good formula to win. Hartley comes in and goes the rest of the way, only giving up that run in the ninth. Smoltz, 5 innings, 5 earned runs, still not to the John Smoltz most people know yet. And there you see the miscellaneous. The only reason I'm showing all these slides is because after today, they'll be gone. This file will probably get erased eventually. I don't have unlimited space on my computer to keep every single save, which I have like every single Dodger game. I save a backup, thankfully. And this was the series I was hoping to just get 1 win out of 4, and boy did we work to get it. Let's go to the play-by-play. Dodgers go out to a 2-0 lead against, this is Sid Fernandez against Tim Belcher. And Belcher, you know, home run issues. So, one person in particular that we've had bad experience with last time was Tim Teufel. So, my radar was up there. Okay, we go to the 4th inning. It's still scoreless. And Murray walks, Daniels homers. So the Dodgers lead 2-0. But in the bottom of the 4th, the Mets come back. Sasser grounds out. Strawberry grounds out. But McReynolds walks. Miller walks. And then here comes Teufel. And I could see the 3-run home run. And I didn't want to see it, so I intentionally walked him, leaving the bases loaded for Kevin Elster. And somehow Belcher can't get him out, walks him, and a run scores. Okay, it's still 2-1. But then Fernandez comes up and gets a single, and that makes it 3-2 Mets. Okay, so the strategy backfires there. Teufel's had a really good, I thought just Elster and Fernandez, you could get one of those 2 guys out. Belcher couldn't. Move to the bottom of the 5th. The Mets take a 4-2 lead. Maganin strikes out. Sasser doubles. Strawberry flies out. Sasser moves to 3rd. Walk McReynolds, who steals 2nd. So 2nd and 3rd, 2 out. And Miller walks. So you got Teufel coming up with the bases loaded. And I go to the lefty because that's one thing Teufel is not good at, is against the lefties. He's in the lineup because he's facing Belcher, a right-hander. And Teufel walks. There's so many walks in this game when you see the box score. But he does get Elster to strike out. And the limited the damage. It's 4-2. We're through 5 innings, and I'm thinking, well, this is a loss. Okay, so I go to Wetland, let Wetland pitch to the 7th, and Franco comes in, who's now just like a setup man. He's not a closer. And the inning starts out, Samuel strikes out, Gibson singles, he steals 2nd, Sharperson grounds to 1st, so that moves Gibson to 3rd, but they're 2 out. And Eddie Murray grounds a single, which makes it 4-3, and they bring in Pena. So I'm like, okay, we're still in this game, but we're running out of outs. We got 6 left to the 8th. So I do like Cruz pitch. I say, okay, we're in it to try to win. It's a 1-run game. I don't feel really confident. But at this point, Sid Fernandez is out of the game, so there's a chance. In the 8th, they bring in defensive replacement at 3rd. Vizcaino singles. Scioscia singles. Vizcaino gets to 3rd. So you got a runner at 3rd with nobody out. The tying run. Gonzalez grounds to short. Scioscia moves over to 2nd, but Vizcaino cannot score. Then Harris grounds to first, and still Vizcaino cannot score. The percentages were low, like 11 to 13%, not even a thought about it. And Gibson grounds to short. That should be it. It should stay 4-3 with 3 outs left in the ninth. But there's a throwing error at first. I believe that was Elster. Vizcaino scores, and we're tied. All right, so that gets us through all 9 innings. And we go to, so I'm going through this bullpen. I'm running out of guys. Walsh, I've had to pinch hit for Wetland and Cruz. Those are my long guys. So not much left. Walsh comes in and pitches well. Gets the 2 lefties, well, the 3 lefties, Magadan, Sasser, and Strawberry that are in a row. He gets all 3 of them. To get into extras, Gott comes in the 10th, pitches well. In the 11th, the Dodgers finally strike. Gibson grounds to third with Musselman coming in to pitch. Sharperson singles. Murray singles. Daniels flies out. And that, because Sharperson got to third on Murray's single, he scores. So the Dodgers have the lead. Whitehurst comes in to pitch. Dempsey grounds to short, but he's safe on an error. We'll have to look at those 2 errors. I don't know if that's Elster as well. Murray to second, and then Vizcaino triples, and that blows the game open. I go to Jay Howell, who's recently back from the reserve list, and he does pretty well. Elster ground out, Mercado strikeout, Jeffries ground out, and the Dodgers win. Let's look at those 2 errors that really hurt. There are 3 errors total by Elster at short, and that pretty much helped the Dodgers win. If you take away those 3 errors, they probably lose 4-3. I saw an injury in this game, and I thought maybe it was Socha or somebody, so I'm going to explain something before we start the next game. There's Belcher, 4 2/3, 4 earned runs. And look at the bullpen. That's just impressive. That's 6 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs. And here's the walks. 8 walks by Belcher in 4 2/3. That's not good. Fernandez pitched really well, but we did make him throw a lot of pitches, and they decided to pull him. They thought Ojeda and the rest of the guys would do the job, and they did not. So, hitting-wise, there were a lot of at-bats in this game. Probably tied for the longest game for the Dodgers this season in terms of innings, for sure. We haven't played any marathon games. Okay, save that for prosperity, because once I flip over here, there will be some issues. You'll see those games will disappear. Now the Mets will get their games back, and the record will be intact, but when I click on those results, they will no longer exist. So we'll go over here. I'll show you a little secret. We'll switch files, and we'll go to 114. That's the backup, because that's the total Dodger games that we've played thus far. And the Mets will go from 0 to their real record. Magadan will go back to the top of the batting leaders list, and whatever other Mets are supposed to be on this list. Probably Strawberry will go. Well, probably not. Andre Dawson's been there pretty much the whole season. Whatever pitchers that'll be involved. Maybe Cone on the strikeouts. I don't know. We'll see in a moment. But it's just really frustrating and scary when you're playing a game this long. I've now been playing 114 of them. Yeah, there's Cone and there's Gooden. They're back. Magadan's back at the top. And the Mets have won 64 games instead of 0. However, when I go here, let's go here. the teams and click on, excuse me, the Dodgers schedule, you will see that the box scores have disappeared. Why this happens, I don't know. I've contacted Mr. Cook, and he has no answer. I sent him a file, said he looked at it, he doesn't know what happened. Here's the last game. It's still here, but when I go for the box score, this is what shows up. And it doesn't matter which box I click. There's nothing to show for it. Let's see how far back it goes. Here's the Atlanta game before that. I mean, you could just tell the anger, frustration, shock if you play this many games and then something just disappears. Now, they say back it up. I backed it up. But now I can never go back and look at those box scores again in case I want to check on something for the playoffs, or just if we play this team again, how did we do in this particular game? Which guys hit the best against a certain pitcher? Looks like this game is complete. So we lose 2 of the box scores. So Atlanta and New York, the first game of New York's series. Let's go see if that game is in the game log. So this number is right, 114. So all of Eddie Murray's statistics are there. Okay, 114 games. But let's go to the game log and see if those last 2 games are in it. Against the Braves and the Mets is the last game that they played. And you can see it's not. And it never will be. So this number is never going to be correct. None of these total numbers over here will ever be correct. And that's not just from this miscue or glitch in the game. There's other days that are missing down below, since Eddie's played every single one of them. I know April 26th is missing. And this is a problem that really needs to be fixed. You can put all the bells and whistles on the game and see right here. So, I mean, that's for every player too. You can put extra cards and doodads, as Bluey would say, and gizmos and make the game look prettier and all that. But I would just like it to work and not mess up. Baseball, among all the sports, is the most stat-driven, it feels like, or what I enjoy the most about it. And to just know that that's not there, not correct, very, very discouraging. Anyhow, that's my soapbox. I know Eddie is correct, so I would assume everybody else is correct too. I can't go back and check that now. But that's the way that it is. So, back to the normal part of our game. Trying to get the Dodgers to win the division. And we still have one more game against the Mets today. So we're going to have to play the second half of this doubleheader. And I'm very, very wary of losing one of my important guys. Now, this is a 15-game road trip. They've won 1 in San Francisco. They've won 2 in Cincinnati. They swept Atlanta. And they won the first game in New York out of 4. So by my addition, that equals 8. And that was the number 7 to 8 was what we were looking for on this trip. So if we lose the rest of the games, the last 3, I'm not going to be too upset. The lead has grown to 6 over San Francisco and 9 over Houston. And I don't know about playing guys on a doubleheader. The Dodgers have never done that. I've never played doubleheader on this game. And I'm afraid somebody's going to get injured. We finally got Javier back. So we're a full set. The team that I want is completely healthy. And I'm afraid of losing one of the guys. And they're facing Frank Viola. So I don't expect to win this game. And to prove it, I'm not going to play anybody that's important. Sharperson is out because he needs rest. So that doesn't have anything to do with it. And I'm not worried about that. But there are 4 other guys that I would like to keep off the injured list. Here you see, they pick Hartley to face Viola. That's not going to happen today. So we're going to empty the bench today. I doubt we'll win this game against Viola even at full strength, but I'm definitely not going to worry about it. I'm more concerned about losing somebody for 2 weeks. And it may not matter. When I play the last 2 games against probably Cone and Gooden, I could lose somebody, but at least I'll know it's not because they were tired after playing a long 11-inning game in the first of a doubleheader. So we're going to empty the bench. We're going to let these guys play and just hope tonight. We're going to lose this game, but we're just going to hope nobody gets hurt. Okay, so we're going to go over here. We're going to face the lefty. Make sure we get that. Kirk Gibson will not be one of the guys that play. Why, you say? Well, here's why. In the real season, he only played 89 games, and he's already at 85. And his durability is a 5, which makes me think that the game's going to click and say, hey, he needs to get hurt again. He's about at his best. So any of these other guys could get hurt, but they're not as important. Cal Daniels, you've watched the channel, you know he's important. Eddie Murray, same thing. So we're going to dump these guys in, and hopefully we can have enough stuff here to put together a lineup that fits all the different positions. We'll see. Brooks is going to have to stay in right. Gonzalez, however, can move to center field. And Javier, who's not good against lefties, but he's going to play today. Mike Scioscia will not play, hopefully. See if I have enough guys. What I'm going to have to do here is I think I'm going to have to pull somebody. Let's see. Well, let's just, first of all, let's look at the pitching staff. Fernando's available. He will pitch the majority of the game. Hartley, it says, is not ready. So whatever it said in that, what you saw in the page of all the games was wrong. Hartley cannot pitch. Cruz is available, and so is Howell. So we're going to sit down one of these guys. We're going to need Walsh soon, so it won't be him. I guess it's Howell. Howell will be inactive, even though he's one of the guys that actually has pitching. We might see a position player. I hope this could be a disaster. Okay, the reason I did that is so that I can open this up and bring another guy up, and that'll probably be Mickey Hatcher. So he can play first base. So Eddie doesn't have to. Okay, let's go back to this spot. That's in order, it looks like. Mickey Hatcher will be the next hitter. He'll play first. Harris, even though he can't hit lefties, will play third, and Dempsey will catch. Let's see if that's a real lineup. It is. And Fernando will get to pitch his heart out at 135 pitches. Let's just hope he can go, well, as long as possible, because Cruz is our only backup. If Cruz fails, then we have to start using guys at -20. Oh no, I don't like this. Runtime error 6. I don't know what that means. Let's hope the game still works. That wasn't good. Well, you're going to have to bear with me a minute. Let's see what happens. The game is really putting me through it today. Okay, it's reloading. Let's see what happens. You know, you want this game to be okay. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong that's causing it to do this, and you saw that I'm using a backup file, so that's what they tell you to do. I don't know what else I can do to make this any better or occur less. Now let's take a look and see where we're at. Okay, we're in the backup file. Everything looks decent. Okay. See if we can play the game. With the 6-game lead, I don't mind losing and having already won one of the games from this day's slate. Losing this game and attempting to try to win one of the last two. 9 out of 15 on the road is pretty good. Even 8 out of 15. With the teams that we had to play, it's pretty good. Okay, that looks like, well, still waiting to make sure everything's okay. Everything's loaded. There you see Hartley again, predicted to play, but oh, now they switched it to Valenzuela as soon as I pushed play. We'll see if they saved Howell being sent down. Okay. Nope, Jay is still there, so we'll do this. And activate him. Maybe that was the problem. Mickey Hatcher will be active. This will be the first game that Eddie Murray misses. Just kind of a tribute to him. Well, let's see if we can do the lineup correctly. Brooks and right field. Just kind of short. Gonzalez moves to center field. Javier plays left. Hatcher at first. Harris at third. Dempsey catches. Fernando starts. Okay, let's hope that works. If it doesn't, this is going to be a short trip, as Han Solo would say. It would be a short trip. Okay, I'm going to have to look into this and see what happens. I don't know. Hopefully you'll see another video from me. If not, it was nice knowing you guys. Hopefully we'll see you next time on Missed It by How Much.